Your cat has been watching you sleep, and there's a precise neurological reason why. Animal behavior science has a name for this: sentinel vigilance. A socially bonded animal monitors a vulnerable group member during sleep, staying alert so the other doesn't have to be. Sentinel vigilance isn't unique to cats. It appears across dozens of bonded mammal species. What sets the domestic cat apart is that it extends this behavior to a member of a completely different species, you. That cross-species extension required thousands of years of social rewiring. To understand why, go back roughly 10,000 years to the Fertile Crescent, where the wildcat Felis sylvestris libica first began tolerating proximity to human grain stores, and by extension, to humans themselves. That tolerance was the first step in a behavioral transformation still unfolding in the cat at the foot of your bed tonight. The earliest hard evidence of cat-human bonding comes from Chillerocambos, Cyprus. In 2004, archaeologist Jean-Denis Vin and his team excavated a 9,500-year-old burial where a cat and a human were interred side by side. The relationship had already crossed from utility into something resembling companionship. That proximity rewired the cat's social brain over millennia. Today's domestic cat carries sensory architecture built for close monitoring. Their olfactory system processes roughly 200 million semireceptors, 40 times the human count. A sleeping human broadcasts an enormous amount of biological information. Cats detect your body heat, your breathing rhythm, and subtle shifts in your scent chemistry, all without a single conscious signal from you. Here's where it gets precise. A cat's ear rotates up to 180 degrees independently. While you sleep, your cat triangulates the exact source of every sound in the room, including the specific cadence of your breathing. Vision compounds the picture. Cats possess a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum. In near total darkness, the kind that fills a bedroom at 3 in the morning, they see with roughly 6 times the light sensitivity of a human eye. Cats are crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk. Their peak alertness window overlaps almost exactly with the hours humans spend in deepest sleep. The timing isn't coincidental. But sensory monitoring alone doesn't explain the watching. The deeper mechanism is attachment. In 2019, researcher Kristen Vitale at Oregon State University published a landmark study confirming that domestic cats form secure and insecure attachment bonds with their owners, mirroring the attachment patterns seen in human infants. Vitale's study found that 65% of cats tested showed secure attachment to their owner, using the human as a safe base and returning to them after a mild stress event. That number nearly matches the 65% rate in human-infant attachment studies. Secure attachment produces a specific behavior: proximity maintenance. A securely attached cat doesn't merely tolerate your presence, it seeks it, especially during states it reads as vulnerable, including sleep. The closer you are, the more complete its monitoring loop becomes, and the more settled its own nervous system stays. The neurochemical driving this is oxytocin, the same bonding hormone active in parent-infant attachment across mammals. When a cat watches over you, its hypothalamus releases oxytocin in response to the sensory signals your sleeping body continuously broadcasts. You can read the intention in the posture. A cat watching you sleep from genuine attachment holds its ears forward, keeps its tail still, and shifts its weight slightly toward you. This isn't predatory focus. It's the posture of a guardian. Compare that to predatory focus, tail twitching, pupils fully dilated, haunches compressed. Both postures share the same stillness, but carry completely different neurological signatures. Most people never realize they're reading two distinct states. Here's the counterintuitive part. The watching isn't a sign of anxiety. Research on feline attachment and environmental security, including work reviewed in applied animal behavior science, consistently links nighttime proximity seeking to emotional security in bonded cats, not to stress or hypervigilance. Wild Felis sylvestris libica colonies assign sentinel roles. One cat stays alert while others sleep, a behavior documented in field studies of feral cat colonies at Rome's Largo di Torre Argentina sanctuary, one of the most observed feral populations in the world. At Torre Argentina, researchers have recorded sentinel behavior continuously since the sanctuary's formal study began in the 1990s. The sentinel cat doesn't hunt, doesn't play, and doesn't sleep. It watches. Your cat at the foot of your bed is running the same protocol. The behavior also serves a practical function for the cat. When you shift in your sleep, your cat recalibrates, ears turning toward the sound, scent reassessed, breathing pattern confirmed unchanged. Continuous threat assessment, quiet, methodical, and wired deep into the cat's social nervous system. The monitoring runs in both directions neurochemically. Research on feline stress physiology shows that bonded cats separated from their attachment figure at night display elevated cortisol, a direct physiological marker of stress. Proximity during sleep isn't behavioral preference, it's a measurable biological need. Some bonded cats go further than watching. They synchronize their breathing rate with yours. Behavioral researchers studying interspecies social entrainment, the process by which bonded animals unconsciously mirror each other's physiological rhythms, have documented this in dogs and primates, with observational evidence in cats consistent with the same mechanism. Memory is the third pillar of this behavior. A 2021 study by Saho Takagi and colleagues at Kyoto University demonstrated that cats possess episodic-like memory, the ability to recall what happened, where, and in what order. Cats remembered which food bowl they'd already visited, even after a delay. That same recall system lets your cat track deviations in your daily routine. This is why cats often begin waiting at the door before their owner returns, sometimes hours in advance. That anticipation is driven by circadian rhythm, not episodic memory, an internal biological clock calibrated to your consistent schedule that triggers arousal at a predictable time. Memory and circadian timing are distinct systems. Together, they make your cat's behavior feel almost uncanny. When you're ill, your scent chemistry changes measurably. Cortisol, acetone, and specific volatile organic compounds shift in concentration. Your cat detects this within minutes and responds with increased proximity and heightened vigilance, often before you consciously register that you're unwell. The most documented example of this chemosensory vigilance is Oscar, a therapy cat at Steer House Nursing Facility in Providence, Rhode Island. In 2007, physician David Dosa published in the New England Journal of Medicine that Oscar accurately predicted the deaths of over 50 patients by positioning himself beside them hours before the event. Oscar was almost certainly detecting ketone compounds produced during the dying process, chemicals invisible to human nurses, but broadcast clearly to a nose built for continuous biochemical surveillance. The watching was always about chemistry. Return to those eyes in the dark. What looked eerie is, in precise neurological terms, a sentinel, monitoring its bonded attachment figure during shared vulnerability. The gaze hasn't changed. Your understanding of it has. Sentinel behavior across bonded mammal groups is one of the oldest social technologies on Earth. Biologist Mark Bekoff, in his research on wolf social cognition, documented den entrance vigilance in wolf packs. Cynthia Moss's 4-decade Amboseli elephant research project recorded nighttime calf watching in matriarchal herds. Your cat is running the same ancient protocol, pointed at you. There's a practical takeaway. If your cat watches you sleep and you want to support the bond rather than disrupt it, the research is clear. Allow access, maintain a consistent sleep schedule, and avoid sudden changes to the bedroom environment. Predictability is the language of feline security. By the time first light enters your room, your cat may have been watching for 3 or 4 hours. Here's what most people miss. Cats that perform extended nighttime sentinel behavior have been shown in behavioral studies to initiate more affiliative contact, slow blinks, head bunting, and vocalizations during the following day. The night watch isn't separate from the daytime bond. It's how the bond is maintained. Tonight, when you find 2 eyes watching you from the dark, try this. Hold the cat's gaze softly and blink slowly. Research by Tasman Humphrey and Karen McComb at the University of Sussex, published in 2020, found that humans who mirror the slow blink toward cats receive significantly more slow blinks in return, and cats approach sooner. You're not just watching each other, you're speaking the same language.